Hello, jury. My name is Hunter Escalante, and I'm currently a senior at FIU. And I have a Associates of Arts degree from Broward College. And today I would like to discuss with you my personal opinion, and in some cases that I've seen other expert witnesses and their testimony statements to the jury with their do's and don'ts. As an expert witness, we're usually the most important variable in a case since we can give um, a better understanding to you guys, the jury, of certain aspects of a crime and how these things work and how they could be solved in some way, and some expertise that we can provide to help you make your decision along with the judge. I would say that today we're going to be looking at a couple of um of people that are expert witnesses then in cases whether they have been either um too aggressive with the jury or too aggressive with prosecutors, and they created a sort of disruptive environment. Um so as we look at these videos, I have a PowerPoint that I would like to show you that we can get a proper idea of how things would work in a courtroom, as well as give you a better understanding. We're going to be looking at Larry McCann, which is a criminal specialist, Dr. Robert Waldman, and Dr. White. They all have assisted with cases that either involved with murder and stuff like that, and gave the jury a better understanding. So I'm going to share with you a couple of visual slides so you can see. So here on my screen, we're going to start with the, let me just pull that up right now. So this is my PowerPoint for us to start. So this is Larry McCann. Um, Here, let me provide this. Just bear with me for a second.
Over 10,000 people have died in Gaza already. Obvious that they need help.
Used
to be a big help.
Here,
Larry McCann, a crime scene
he's
expert
a
from
specialist
Virginia. He
at,
told the jury based on everything he
and
saw, it looked
in
like
his
Tara
case, he's
committed suicide,
explained
saying
visual
the scene
aids
did
such
not look
as
staged,
we
and
see
based
here, a
on photos
picture
of
of
Tara's nails after her death,
the
there
victim
were no signs of a struggle.
They look good, and
he
they're not
gives
broken,
a proper
and they don't have anything
understanding.
underneath them, which tells me there wasn't a scuffle, there wasn't a.
He gives a proper understanding, as you can see, McCann explain to the jury how these things are and how it looked when with the photos that he presented. As of course, these photos are blurred out, for the viewers, but he as an expert could give you that understanding since he was there witnessing that stuff happening.
He then showed the jury how he believes Tara shot herself, holding the gun upside down and with her thumb on the trigger. He even tried to demonstrate how she could have fired the gun, then unseated the
As you can
magazine.
see, he's
Something the
mentioning
state
here
experts testified
at this moment that he's showing the weapon in this case, where it was used kind of in the way that it was supposed to be intended of a suicide. That's why he was mentioning how the gun was placed and it was aimed in the direction of basically someone shooting themselves. Um, Overall, McCann
she
did a
would
good
not be
job,
able
and
to do,
he
but
explained the
his
proper code.
demonstration backfired more than once.
Get it to work with it.
The blunder drew a laugh from Tara's family, and the prosecution
Course,
let the
here there
flop speak
was
for
a
itself.
little
But they
discrepancy
hammered
at that
away at
moment.
some of McCann's other testimony.
But
If someone's asleep, there's going to be no sign of a struggle.
of course, as you can see here, that he's gonna run into them making some accusations and some claims during this specific moment. Um, McCann handles
If
it
someone's asleep and
in
this
best
happens,
way that he could,
and it
which
would have to be
is
pretty
the right
quick.
way for
Prior
a
to that statement,
for
McCann told the
expert
jury
witness.
it takes less than a fraction of a second to pull a trigger. The state claims Tara
But
was asleep when leaving.
overall, McCann did a good job. Now I'm going to point to you in this direction of Dr. Robert Waldman. This one, Dr. Robert Waldman, he's obviously a doctor. He's been in this field for a while. But this is the case where he was a little bit more hostile and he had a bit more of some concerns that it's not the way you should act in a case.
And you also do the dialysis work?
As you
I
can
do.
see here at
Is
this
that
very
full-time?
second, he's moving
What do you
around
do
a
by
lot
full-time?
and he's
Well, it's typically means
being a
40
little
hours a week,
anxious.
something like that.
I
the way
wish
you
I
should
worked
be.
40 hours a week,
And
and so does my family.
as you can see here, he's a little aggressive with the way he starts, and he's kind of being a little, like a little smart, trying to be a little kind of get his
So
way
the
with
question's
things.
still out there. Do you work?
I work a great deal of hours every week.
Okay, how many hours do you work in dialysis?
He's trying to be a little
And, you know,
sarcastic.
I'm
as
not
you
being
can
glib,
see.
but the real answer is I see every patient every week, and I work as long as I need to. It's variable. Sometimes it's many, many hours.
But
Sometimes
as
it's
you can
less
see
hours.
throughout,
I don't know.
he's
I was
very,
specific.
as you can see there, he also moves around a lot and he's giving one-word answers, not really specifying. This is something that, as an expert witness, you don't really want to do or you don't want to see because they don't have the confidence to explain the case to the jury
I
as
was at the dialysis unit Monday morning and afternoon, Tuesday for a few hours, Friday for a few hours.
Would you,
Yeah.
That's my typical week.
Would you-
Sometimes I go
Yeah.
on Thursdays,
As
sometimes
you
I
can see, he
don't.
still
Sometimes
has
I go on
he's like
Tuesdays,
fighting
sometimes I don't.
alongside it. It's not the right call. Obviously, there was a scene where, as
Vision
mentioned,
treatment, casting dispersion.
he said, don't put words in my mouth.
You're asking the question, sir. If you ask me a
Your Honor, will
specific
the
question,
court instruct the witness to answer the very simple question?
So he's getting more
Are you able,
hostile.
do you want it re-asked?
I would like it re-asked, please.
Mr. Walgren?
Have you ever, by any means, whatever you want to put into your answer?
So with Dr. Wallman, you can see that he was a bit hostile, and that's something that in our approach we're not really looking for. We rather have more of a peaceful environment and be more respectable while you're in a courtroom. Lastly, we're going to look at Dr. White, which handled it pretty well. Not really any concerns whatsoever with Dr. White. But let's see here.
Dr. White, to date, how much have you been paid by the defense for your involvement in this case?
I think I was told I've been paid about 11,000. I got a check recently, which has not been deposited.
The
Motion.
answer is stricken. Disregard. Listen carefully to the question. You may ask it, please.
How much do you expect to be paid in total upon completion of your involvement in this case?
That's vague and ambiguous.
Of course, certain questions like these could be a little
Expectations versus
excessive
actuality.
in the sense
Well, I'm a sustaining
of-
objection to the
of
characterization.
not
expect
going
to be
along
paid.
with the case. So certain questions that they're asking is not really the right idea. So I would definitely recommend that obviously this is not an expert witness asking these questions, but for them that are asking it to object and not use the proper approach.
I think you can rephrase the question.
How much do you expect to receive in compensation for your involvement in this case?
The same question is.
Sustain.
You've received, you have an agreement to receive payment following your testimony in this case?
No, I do not.
Is it your testimony under oath that the only money you're receiving is $11,000?
To date, that's correct.
As
It
you
might,
can see, he's
$1,000?
I hope I receive some compensation for all
they're
the.
still on the same question, and this is something that really should not really be going on in a courtroom as well. Overall, with these 3 videos, it basically just explains to you how 3 expert witnesses, how they acted, one being hostile, one being understanding and knowing what they're talking about, and obviously on the other side, just them asking a question that doesn't really pertain to the case too well. Overall, I hope I explained this well to you and look forward to getting this case solved. Thank you.